What's up guys, and welcome back to the Kamui Dimension. Today let's talk about Boruto Chapter 70 and what we can expect and hope to see. And before you watch the video, I want to hear your thoughts, so every single one of you guys, please let me know your chapter predictions and the number one thing you're looking forward to in Chapter 70 in the comments below. And also leave a comment predicting whether or not you think Code's Eliminators will finally come off in Chapter 70, or if you think they'll keep taking their sweet time. And I'll also cover the spoilers when they come out, so hit the noti bell to stay up to date on those. So one thing we can expect to see for sure is Eida's response to Shikamaru, which she'll have to give whenever we cut back to that scene. Will Eida accept or refuse Shikamaru's proposal? And I see two possibilities for this. Either she says, "No thanks, I'm good," or she accepts the offer but still has her ulterior motives and isn't really a genuine Leaf ally. And I could also see her asking Shikamaru some questions and making some demands to compensate for her joining the village. Things that would put her in a better position to expose Amado and get to Kawaki. Now, I personally lean a little bit more towards her just rejecting the offer, like 60% she says no and 40% she says yes, but isn't a genuine ally, and I just straight up don't think she's a good guy who only wants to date Kawaki. And I've made plenty of videos talking about this, but if you're new to the channel, perhaps you might be asking why I think this is the case.
Why?
So let me give you a quick summary of why I think she will probably say no. Eida said she's helping Code regain his power in exchange for him helping her get Kawaki, but I think that's only part of the story. I'm pretty confident that Eida also wants Code to regain his power because it's fuel for Kawaki to continue to push his power progression and mastery of his Karma Seal and Ashiki's abilities, as I explained in my Eida's Master Plan video. The same way I think Amado wants Code to regain his power eventually for the exact same reason, as I've also mentioned in previous videos. Code serves a bigger purpose for both Eida and Amado. That's why I think she's just gonna reject the offer, because she actually does want Code's limiters to be removed. She's not done working with Code yet. Eida is a sussy baka too, but as I explained in my last video, Amado is the sussier baka. If you haven't gotten the point by now, you should probably subscribe and hit the noti bell and go back and watch my old videos because they are just as relevant now as they were back then. Now, depending on what Eida's exact response is, we will see very different reactions from Shikamaru, Amado, and Code. If Eida says no, Code will probably smirk and be happy that she's sticking with him. Shikamaru will be like, huh? Wait, what? Why not? And Amado will be thinking to himself about what Eida's true motives might be. On the other hand, if Eida says yes to the offer, Shikamaru will be really relieved. Code will be super mad and probably torture Amado even harder to get him to release the limiters immediately, and Amado will probably give in to that torture and be super worried about Eida messing up his plans. Now, what would be logical to happen isn't always necessarily what will happen in Boruto chapters, since it's really hard to predict the pacing of the chapter and get everything exactly right. For example, last chapter, it would have made sense for Eida to just cut the malarkey and try to get Amado to remove Code's limiters, but instead she flirted with Shikamaru the whole chapter. And sometimes, Kishimoto just throws curveballs at us that we couldn't have expected. So if Eida says no, logically, she should get to business this time around and help Code get his limiters off, since she would still be allies with him, and would want Code to regain his power for the sake of her own goals. On the other hand, if she says yes, Code might quickly torture the crap out of Amado to try to get him to give in and release the limiters, in which case I expect Amado to give in and restore Code's power, since I think he low-key wants to do it anyway, and this would be a perfect chance to make it look like he did it against his will, rather than part of his master plan. Either way, it honestly seems like Code's limiters logically should come off really soon, like right in his chapter, but it also feels like Kishimoto purposefully is trying to stall as much as he possibly can to delay Code's limiters being removed. It's kind of annoying because the characters are acting in ways that feel really stupid for what their goals are, which is why I would have preferred it if things slowed down before Code entered the Leaf Village, rather than while he and Eida were already there, but it is what it is. I hope the limiters finally come off, but I won't be surprised if they don't, and I won't harp on this anymore for you guys. So what about our other characters? I think someone should arrive where Eida and Code are, at least one of our groups of people heading there, and I think Naruto probably has the best chance of appearing at the scene for a couple of reasons. The first reason is because we could finally set up that Naruto vs. Code battle we've been hoping to see ever since it was hyped up in chapter 64 and 65, with Naruto's improved Toad Sage mode and Code wanting to kill Naruto specifically. so it would be really nice to cash in on that hype and finally pay off that build-up we got a few months ago. But don't get your hopes up too much for a big battle though. I'd keep your expectations closer to a confrontation and maybe just a brief display of power from Code if his limiters do come off, and from Naruto as well. The other reason is because depending on Kawaki's actions, Boruto and Sasuke could potentially be delayed by Kawaki if he does in fact go after Boruto. Where either Kawaki will have to call a truce with Boruto and go after Code first and then attack him after, kind of like what Sasuke did in the War Arc where he teamed up with Naruto but then he fought him after they beat Kaguya. Or alternatively, Kawaki might not dilly-dally and instead might just go straight to fighting Boruto, in which case we'd have two battles going on side by side. Now honestly, I think what exactly goes down with Kawaki is kinda dependent on whether or not Sasuke is actually going to die in the near future, as they've been foreshadowing, and if he is going to die, things then depend on how he's going to die. If Kawaki is going to kill Sasuke, for example, just an example, don't get butthurt, then they could maybe have a fight somewhere separate from Naruto and the others, but if Kawaki isn't going to kill Sasuke, then I don't think Kawaki's gonna fight Boruto right now before they fight Code, because, that just seems kinda weird. On the other hand though, Kawaki might not even intercept Boruto and Sasuke, and they might just appear at the scene along with Naruto, and then Kawaki might show up over there later on, and the same goes for Sarada and Mitsuki. I think I would prefer it if Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto all show up where Code and Eida are, and Kawaki just shows up later or something, but I honestly could not tell you exactly how it's going to play out. Regardless of all that though, we could be pleasantly surprised, but I would expect this to be another dialogue-heavy chapter, with a lot of talking between Shikamaru, Amado, Eida, and Code about something. Maybe Amado will start asking about Damon or something, since he knows Eida's alive now, and so he might think Damon is too, but they'll talk about something, I'm sure. And I think at best, we might get some more setup for future battles, and maybe some more Sasuke death foreshadowing, and more Mitsuki versus Kawaki foreshadowing, but the point is, I think we should expect a more information-heavy chapter rather than an action-heavy chapter. We could definitely start guessing where things could go after this point, but I'll spare you guys the time and just wait until chapter 70 is out, because for all we know, they could throw a curveball at us and then we would have to completely change our predictions, so I think we'll call it good on the predictions here. I know today was a bit shorter than usual lately, but I figured it makes more sense to keep the topics relevant to chapter 70 specifically, rather than going way beyond that. I want to know what you guys are thinking though, so be sure to drop some comments below giving me your chapter predictions and things you really hope we'll get to see. And I also want all of you to let me know in the comments whether or not you think Codes and Limiters will come off in this chapter finally, or if you think they're gonna hold off on that yet again. Let me know in the comment sections below, but that's a wrap on today's video, so thank you guys for watching till the end. Itachi would like a word with you.
You're already under my genjutsu.
So subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, and hit that noti bell. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.